Okay. So I want to send this post to you later. That here we will do it very interesting fine for today. So before we start, can you read this polysyllabic sentence in the first in number one? Can you all read together? Yam call.
Yam
Cô
Take away. Nhà nám. Samudaya. How do you say this one again? Dukha nirodha Okay. So okay, the last time again, yam call bakery. Shall we just do that again? Yam call bakery. Okay. Nyanam. Dukha. Samudaya. Nyanam. Dukha. Nirodhe. Okay. Okay, yam call. Yam mean like kind of declaration. Kind of yam is like kind of like pointing something. Yam. That kind of that thing. In Burmese we say it's like kind of similar like tanam tani. That one, that thing. So yam, that kind of thing, kind of specific thing, yam. In Burmese we say yeah. We don't say to. That we don't say to, yeah. Like when we translate it at once for the word tanam tani, but we translate that for yang is like this. So okay, we will just translate it this kind of this thing call me like actually this thing. So call is like sometimes I will just use kind of little bit for me that make you more understandable. So call actually that thing takeaway all max takeaway is like kind of okay takeaway all man like kind of interaction that Buddha want to explain further more so that just starting calling his disciple near him. Oh, Bakery, yes, I have to say like this kind of thing like that. So actually, though, like it's kind of Buddha would like to try to explain to his disciple about the word dukkha. So here, Toki Jnana, Bakery is like kind of old Max. So Toki Jnana, like so Jnana is like kind of we can't know like kind of in the name of the suffering, like we can know like this. So jnana is like in the knowledge, the knowledge about the suffering, like dokkan, like dokkan is like in the locative format. Jnana is like when we like are discuss about the knowledge about the suffering, it's like knowledge about the suffering like dokki jnana. What can be we can like we can know for the knowledge about the suffering is like, so he just continues like Dukkha Samudaya Jnana. So knowledge about the origin of suffering. Very first thing when we like say when we would like to say about this about the suffering, the very first thing that we have to know is like the very kind of origin of suffering. We have the origin of suffering. Suffering doesn't exist by itself. Like kind of there will be kind of root or thing inside it. So kind of there is an origin of suffering in the knowledge about the suffering. Where we start off the kind of origin of the suffering. Samudaya is like kind of origin, and dukkha samudaya is like the origin of suffering. We can
Origin
know
of
about the
suffering.
origin of suffering. And then what adds? What adds more? So we have original suffering and then we have dukkha nirodhi jnana. Nirodhi. Have you ever heard about the word nirodha? So how do you
Yeah.
translate
Yes, teacher.
nirodha?
Yes, teacher. Nirodha is
You can
Escape
also
Nirodha
from
is
see this
nothing.
translation. Nirodha is
Nirodha is not
cessation
nothing.
of
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
cessation. Like nirodha is
Cessation
like
of
kind of
suffering.
cessation, kind of ending point. Like so cessation. Cessation that is mean. How do you understand cessation?
It is like relaxation.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's like
Relaxation.
you mean
Relaxation.
realization?
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Okay, kind of
free
realization.
from suffering, escape
Escape
from
Okay,
from
suffering.
suffering,
escape
escape
from
from pain.
suffering, free from suffering. Okay, that kind of idea we can see now. Nirodha, kind of. I want us to identify cessation like free from suffering, kind of. That kind of thing we can translate together. No, knowledge about the like cessation of suffering. Okay, when we say the word dukkha, there will be original dukkha, and then there will be one more is like cessation of suffering. We have one more kind of in the knowledge about this dukkha is like we also think about cessation of suffering. So we know the original suffering first, and then we have to know the cessation of suffering. We don't need to stick on the very first one. We have to move away from it so that we have to find out the liberation of suffering, kind of liberation or like cessation or escaping or whatever you can translate in the second idea, no? Dukkha nirodha jnana, like cessation of suffering. And then one more, dukkha nirodha kaminiya. Kaminiya. So how do you understand like kaminiya? Dukkha nirodha kaminiya. How do you translate according to this sentence?
Yes,
The
teacher.
end of
The
suffering.
end of suffering.
Yes.
End of suffering.
Okay, no. Nirodha, like end of suffering. The end of suffering, kind of the way, patipataya jnana, kind of leading to like kamini, kind of karma. Have you ever known the word karma? Karma. What does karma mean?
Karma is way.
Karma village.
Village.
mean action.
Mama belly.
Karma village.
Road,
Oh, karma.
Gamma road, kind of the road. Oh no, Gamma is like Mega is
No,
the road.
no.
Gaminia, maybe Gaminia is not coming from that one. Kind of Gamma is like different one, no? Village. But
Yes.
here Gaminia kind of the way leading to like Padipataya is like kind of leading to Gaminia is like kind of the way. So we have to know kind of the way leading to that kind that suffering. So only knowing the suffering, but we have to know the root of the suffering. So we are seeking for the cessation of suffering. In the third sentence, we have to know the way that leading to that end of suffering. We know we know the end of the suffering, but we don't know how to get there. So that we have to look for the way that way will be leading to the end of the suffering. So that in Pali literature, we have to know the apex or the kind of the apex that will lead to the end of the suffering. Have you ever the way the apex
yes, teacher.
like we call making shipa, okay, no? That
Take part
apex
away.
of that kind of
Take part
that
away.
way, yeah. that thing. That acting will lead to the end of the suffering. So that kind of, but here we won't include that kind of act with them again. That specific like path that will lead to the end of the suffering, we won't include in this passage, that selected passage. So we will just keep on. So okay, so that we have these four all together. 1, 2, 3. So firstly, we know suffering. We feel happy, we feel unhappy, like we have the kind of that kind of situation in our life. So that is suffering. We know suffering. And what is the origin? What is the root of the suffering? The second thing is origin. And the third thing is we have to know the cessation. So if we have the original suffering, if we have to also know the cessation at the end. If we have the start, very start, and we have to know very ending point. So everything that start will be at some point. So we have to know we have origin very first point, and we have to know the ending point too. So we know the origin and cessation of suffering, the third one. And the last one, the fourth one would be we have to also know that the leading to the end of the suffering, the way. We have to also know the way. So we have these four ideas together that will translate that as the kind of in the we will discuss the idea of the dukkha suffering. And then the last thing is like again mean this is say this can be said like woja mean kind of it's said like this, said or say like again wojati take away. So it's what is called like the right view samadhi. So by knowing the suffering, what's the origin suffering, what's the like the way of the ending, like these, by knowing these four truth, by knowing these four this idea can be the right view. We have to figure it out, the right view. So that this is this is what is called the right view. So again, wojati, that is called samadhi, the right view. Take away man. So Buddha explained like this four idea, and these four idea can be called the right view. So Buddha introduced like this kind of thing. So we will just further explanation more a little bit. We have 2 more minutes. So can you read the second sentence, Bobby?
Bầu bể
Ô bê cha
Oh,
aham.
Bija,
Anuradha,
Anuradha,
Ekstradisi cha Dukha
Token Jiwa,
Penya,
Bemi, Token Saja, Nirodhanti. Okay, this second sentence will refer to the very first sentence, not because Bobby is like before, like Bobby is like okay, before I do that, like Anuradha is like the name of the man. Oh, Anuradha, you know, I already declared like like declare me here. We can see it the result can but Penya be me me let you know. I already declare like for you like to know this kind of idea. Tokasa like very Tokasa Nirodhanti like or the suffering. I already declared the suffering Tokasa Dokasaja Nirodha. Nirodha is like Dokasa Nirodha. The first thing Dokanja. Dokan mean only Doka Ja Jiwa mean Dokanja Iwa. Kind of combining of the three Pali like words. Here we have to see in this word Dokan and then Ja and then Iwa. So token ja a word can we see? tấu can chỉ what. So